Sorry, y'all. Just adjusting that picture for a moment. Good morning. It is Sunday, and today is our Kundalini class. We're going to be practicing the Vaheguru Kriya, and it's really pretty. And we're going to be using that mantra of Vaheguru, and we're also going to be using the mantra Satanama in the Kriya, and we'll be going over both of those as we come up to them. But this Kriya is known by experiencing it. Basically, it is a set. Basically, the set is a total workout for the thyroid, pituitary, and pineal glands. Your whole body will sweat potentially, so be prepared for that. Meditation after this Kriya brings a realization that we are channels for truth, and that to maintain grace in the most ungraceful moments is the true human worth. And I really like that because, it's been an interesting time lately as we're moving into this new portal of energy, this new energetic space of being. A lot of things are changing, and a lot of things can feel really uncomfortable as they change. And there's a lot of conversations coming up that have never come up before. And because people are trained to polarize, we're literally programmed to be polarized with our perceptions. That means there's still going to be a lot of conflict until we can realize to function from within some of the gray space, and a broader perception of what's happening. And something that I think is really important for us all right now is to make sure that we're sharing information with other people in a way that inspires them towards change and lets them know we're all in it together. Because, if we come at somebody from a polarized view and we are bullying them or pushing them, preaching at them, telling them how bad or wrong they are for the choices that they're making or the views that they are defending. It's that old saying of you catch a lot more flies with honey than vinegar. And it's the same kind of thing. If we want to be a part of the positive change and stepping into this new paradigm of existence in a way that is going to allow us to experience more of the energy that we want, which is more peace, more connectedness, more unity, then we have to make sure that when we're having these conversations with people and when we're not necessarily agreeing, that we're not preaching at them, that we're not, saying that we're more righteous than they are, that we know better than they do, or any of those kinds of things. But having real conversations, remembering that our approach to these kinds of matters is just as important as the message that we seek to deliver. And we have to be able to figure that element out. And the best way that we can educate the people around us is through embodiment, inspiration, and honest conversations that are rooted in compassion and the desire for the unity. So at the end of the day, whatever conversation we're having with somebody, that desired result needs to be reflective of the desire of the heart, which, the heart is the expression of divinity. Divinity is the oneness, the community, the connectedness, peace, all of those kinds of energies, right? So we have to have that end result in mind. And if our conversations are taking us farther away from the destination point that we're trying to move towards, then we are not going to create resolution. We are not going to allow each other to have safe space where we can all hold different perceptions and have different ways of perceiving the world, and that we can just appreciate and respect that about each other, right? And remembering that everybody comes to their own understanding of things at their own time. And that's not something that I can force on somebody else. That's not something I can make another person feel, and nor is it my responsibility, right? The best thing I can do is be in the embodiment. The best thing I can do is to have compassionate conversations that are real and rooted in my personal truth, which is the desire of my heart. And I love Mr. Rogers. Growing up, I grew up with Mr. Rogers, and he said, we live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's easy to say, it's not my child, it's not my community, not my world, not my problem. And then there are those who see the need and respond. I consider those people my heroes. And I think I actually read this quote a couple weeks ago, but it's important for us to remember, this is a part of our responsibility, especially as yogis, especially as people who work towards, deeper spiritual understandings, deeper knowledge of who and what we are and what we're here to do, we have a responsibility to use that information, in a way that is beneficial and connective. We're all going to have different platforms. We're all going to have different ways of expressing that energy. But, today I just really want us thinking about that kind of stuff, like that Kriya said. We're having that realization that we are channels for truth, and that to maintain grace in the most ungraceful moments is the true human worth. And I really think that's a part of, we're moving into this new age of existence, and we're gonna have these ungraceful moments, these ungraceful experiences, and it's up to us to maintain our grace through that space. So today, that's what we're working on. We're working on maintaining our grace, even in the most ungraceful moments, the most ungraceful experiences that we're going to have, because that's going to happen. That's a part of life, that we're going to have the whole breadth of experience, not just the pretty stuff. And so this is going to give us the ability to maintain our own grace through those experiences, so that when we speak, when we act, when we contribute, when we share information, it's coming from that truth of our being, that graceful, still point that we find within. So I'm really excited about this one because I love the mantra of Waheguru. It's such a beautiful, uplifting mantra to me. And I'm going to go ahead and get us tuned in so that we can go over what that mantra means. We're going to tune in, we're going to do a little bit of breath work, a little bit of movement, gentle movement, and then we're going to move into that Kriya. So let's go ahead and start by coming into our easy seated posture and grounding those sits bones into the earth. Start to create that connection to the earth beneath us, that divinity that exists in everything around us, and drawing the attention back inside of the self. Connected and rooted into this time and space, but drawing the attention back inside, dropping the shoulders back and down, lifting through the collarbones, and feeling the crown of the head shining into the sky. Sinking into the breath, that full belly breath. I'm not the storm that exists outside of me. I'm the peaceful still point that exists within my own being. And I can come back to that safe space anytime I want, tapping into my own grace, tapping into my true nature, tapping into all of those things that I need to find within. Security, safety, connectedness, that grounded energy. Tucking the chin ever so slightly back and down, ensuring that you have that beautiful long line of the body for that energy to facilitate movement. It's not about being right. It's about sharing new perceptions, new ways of expanding the mind, new ways of experiencing reality. And whenever somebody's ready to grab onto that new next place, they're going to. You don't have to force. You don't have to press or argue. Come at it from this righteous standpoint. We just embody. Share the information in a loving and compassionate way. So much beauty inside of that still place, inside of our own being. I just want y'all to take a moment to breathe into that space and relish in that energy that you find within your own body. This is a safe space. I'm creating that safe space within my own being. The place to retreat in those ungraceful moments. Start rubbing the palms of the hands together in front of that heart space. Take it a little bit at a higher speed, that brisk connection between those pranic and aponic energies. Feel that energy shifting and moving already just by rubbing the palms of the hands together. And for that invitation for change to occur. Healing, transmutation. Tuck those thumbs into the breastbone, hands in prayer pose, fingertips are pointed upwards towards the chin. Forearms are parallel to the earth. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully and completely. We're going to use that mantra Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply, suspending your breath. Apply your root lock if it's in your practice. Pregnancy, no moon cycle, glaucoma, high blood pressure. Sitting in that energy of tuning into those higher energies of our own being, that soul space. Exhale when you can no longer hold that breath, and gently releasing the palms down onto the knees. Release the lock. Take a couple breaths in and out, working towards an equal length of inhalation to exhalation. Gently allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. We're going to go ahead and start sinking into our bodies a little bit more, tuning into those higher frequencies of ourself by utilizing that alternate nostril breath. So you can take your thumb, your right hand to the side of your right nostril, just like so. And you're not going to close it off just yet. If you want to, you can take your middle finger and gently rest it in the center of your third eye, that brow point center. You can just gently massage it for a moment and close the eyes and just connecting to that place of intuition, the voice of your own soul, receptive and open to hear what that place wants to express to you today. Gently resting that pointer finger on top of the middle finger if you want. And then you're going to just allow that ring finger to just hang over that left nostril. So we're going to start by closing off the right nostril with the right thumb. Inhale through the left side. Exhale through the left. Close off the left nostril with the ring finger, releasing the thumb from the right. Inhale through the right. And exhaling through the right. Close off the right nostril with the thumb, releasing the left nostril with the ring finger. Inhale. And exhale. Close off the left nostril, release the thumb from the right. Inhale. Just continuing on, alternating that breath, drawing that attention, that awareness towards that third eye space. Breathing into the body. That alternate nostril breath helps to relax your body and mind, reduce anxiety, promotes overall well-being, which may help you to be more focused and aware. Balances out both hemispheres of the brain, lowers stress and improves cardiovascular function, improves lung function and respiratory endurance, and lowers the heart rate. There's so many beautiful benefits to this breath. You can even lower the blood pressure. But you don't want to do this nadi shodhana if you're ever suffering from a cold or the flu or a fever. Just taking those long deep breaths instead. We're purifying those nadis, those energetic channels. Opening ourselves up to new inspirations, new perceptions, or ways of experiencing this time and space. Take a couple more rounds of this breath. 2 on each side, and then finishing up with an exhalation through the right nostril. After you're done, gently releasing that hand away from the face, relaxing it down onto the knee. Keeping the eyes closed, take a couple more deep breaths. Just feeling into the sensations of your own energetic body after engaging in that breath. Feeling into the sensations of the energy moving within your being, opening up new space. If you want to keep those eyes closed, go ahead and keep them closed and just follow the instruction through the sound of my voice. But if you need to open them up for our Sufi grind, then feel free to do so. If not, though, we're just going to go ahead and inhale and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Begin to take that Sufi grind in whatever direction feels most comfortable and safe. Rotating the entirety of the upper being around the base of the spine. Those sits bones that are rooted into the earth, and keeping both of those sits bones grounded into the mat. We don't want to lift one glute away from the earth and then the other. You want to keep both of those sits bones rooted and grounded into the earth. And we're keeping the crown of the head still parallel to the sky, so we don't want to hinge forward so far that we're dipping that crown forward. Inhaling from the front to the back and exhaling from the back to the front. Sufi grind is said to unwind all of the trouble, all of the challenges away from life experience. Sufi grind is grounding, connective. Allows that energy to move up from the tip of the tailbone towards the crown of the head. Next time you find yourself towards the front of the rotation, take it in the opposite direction. Allow yourself to become meditative with this movement. Next time you find yourself towards the front of the rotation, inhale and rise back up into that neutral, easy seated position. Take a couple of deep grounding breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then on the next inhalation, gently allowing those eyes to open up so that we can move into our Kriya. And like I said, we're going to be utilizing that Vwahe Guru. When you see Vwahe, it's often written Whaheguru or Wheguru. And that W sound has a vwa, so it's like a V and a W together. So it's Vwahe Guru. That R has like a rolling sound to it almost. So you're going to feel that on the roof of your mouth. The Vwahe Guru is also known as Guru Mantra. It triggers the destiny. Translation is, I am in ecstasy when I experience the indescribable wisdom, that connectedness to that divine energy. This mantra expresses the indescribable experience from going from darkness to light, from ignorance to true understanding. It is the infinite teacher of the soul. This meditation can calm the nerves, help to reduce fevers. This is Laya Yoga version of the mantra. It creates the heat that burns off karma. There is a state of ecstasy which exists within us all the time. It is an infinite pool that refreshes the heart and gives us the strength to connect, to create a better self and better world. This meditation is the key that opens the door to that experience of ecstasy. This meditation strengthens your nervous system so that nothing bothers you. It expands your intuitive sense and helps make the mind clear and decisive. It helps you to have the strength to act on your ideals and consciously direct yourself, which is a really beautiful thing. The personal identity is rebuilt, giving the individual new perspective on the self. It restrains the mind. It can purify your past karma and the subconscious impulses that may block you from fulfilling you. It gives you the pranic power of health and healing. It establishes inner happiness and a state of flow and ecstasy in life. So if any of those things particularly stand out to you today, perhaps it's something that you're focusing on or working on energetically at this moment, you can kind of be thinking about that during your practice today, opening up space for those things to shift and move. So we're going to start by coming into a chair pose. And we're going to come into a standing position for this one. So we're going to come into a chair pose, which we're going to kind of like squat down. And we're going to take our hands underneath our heels, if that's in your practice. I'm going to move this over here so I can make sure I read it to you properly. So you're going to grasp the heels firmly. Keep the spine straight. Head looks down. You're going to turn your head to the right shoulder. Turn your head to the left shoulder and say Vwahe. Turn your head to the right and say Guru. Vwahe, Guru. Vwahe, Guru. Vwahe, Guru. Vwahe, Guru. We're going to be here for 3 minutes if you can, if that's in your practice. If not, and you need to stop, then do what you need to. Take care of your body. Take care of yourself. Alternate at a moderate pace, making that conscious sound current, the Vwahe Guru. Turning the head to the left and saying Vwahe. Turning the head to the right, saying Guru. Keeping those hands firmly on those heels. If you can't do that, you can gently rest those fingertips into the earth or place the palms of your hands on the shin bones. Just do what you can to allow yourself to function through this exercise, or sitting in that comfortable, easy seated posture and visualizing yourself in that exercise, in that movement. You're already 1 minute in. Allow yourself to get lost in that mantra. Move that neck nice and slow. Remember to always be gentle on the neck. You're already 2 minutes in, so you only have 1 more minute left. Thirty more seconds. Less than 30 seconds. Come back to center and inhale deeply. Suspend the breath, apply your root lock if it's in your practice. Exhale, release the breath, release the lock. Take those hands out from underneath those heels and rise up into that standing position. Super, super, super slow. Pedal out those legs here. Shake out those hands if you need to before we move into our next posture. Next posture, we're going to be coming into a standing position. We're going to put the hands on the hips, just like so. The hands can be on the backs of the hips. Fingertips can be pointed down towards the earth. Take a couple deep breaths. Inhale deeply. And then on the exhalation, you're just going to tilt the body back. The crown of the head falls towards the back of the room. Gaze comes towards the ceiling. If it feels good on your neck and on your spine, keeping those eyes closed. And just leaning backwards. Keep the legs straight. You're going to turn your head to the left and say Vahe. Turn your head to the right and say Guru. 3 minutes. Vahe, Guru. Vahe, Guru. And that head turn can be really small. It doesn't have to be super dramatic. We're not looking to take our ears to each shoulder. We want to be really gentle and safe on the neck. So it can be super small movement. Tilting to the left slightly, Vahe, to the right, slightly Guru. Never pressing into pain, tingling, or numbness. Really listen to your body and ensure you're doing what's best for you today. You're already 1 minute in. Really using that mantra, feeling that vibration of those words echoing throughout your physical and your energetic being. more than halfway through. Those eyes are closed. Your attention, your awareness to that third eye point, that brow point center. Just had a little bit less than a minute to go. Inhale deeply as you draw that neck back towards its neutral space. Apply your root lock, sealing the energy of that exercise into your being and allowing that energy to move up the spine. Exhale, super slow and gentle. Draw the gaze back down towards its neutral space. Release those hands from the back of the hips. You can roll those shoulders for a moment, forward and backwards, releasing any tension that you might be experiencing in that upper spine or neck. If you need to just turn or take any gentle neck circles, do whatever you need to do to release any of that tension in those upper portions of your body. And then keeping the eyes closed, just grounding through all four corners of both feet, breathing into the body and being aware of the movement of the energy inside and outside of your physical and energetic being. Before we move into our next exercise. And then opening up those eyes slowly and gently whenever you're ready. Inhale deeply. And exhale, hinge forward from those hips. And you're going to take those hands and gently resting them just underneath those knees. Because remember, we never want to place our hands directly on our joints. You either just want to be just under or just over. So whichever one of those postures feels best to you, go ahead and draw yourself into it. Make sure that that spine is straight. And the head is up. So we're going to take the gaze forward towards the front. If that's not comfortable on your neck and you need to keep the crown of the head shining towards the front of the room and the gaze towards the earth, then feel free to do so. Inhale to the left. Take the gaze. Turn the head to the left. Wahi. Turn it to the right. Guru. Wahi. Guru. Wahi. Guru. Close the eyes. Draw the attention, the awareness back inside. Speak that mantra loud enough that you can feel the vibration of it in your being. Wahi to the left, Guru to the right. Move that neck as slow as you need to in a fluid movement so that you can facilitate completing the exercise for 3 minutes. You're almost a minute in. Remembering it doesn't have to be fast. You can move that neck as slow as you need to, or not at all. If you have had any surgery on that upper spine or neck, any disc issues, you really want to be gentle and safe. You can just visualize yourself turning the head to the left and right while utilizing that chant. Two minutes in. And don't compare yourself to what you could do yesterday. Sometimes something that felt really safe and comfortable yesterday may not feel safe and comfortable today. So honor yourself where you're at, on your mat, in this moment, without comparison, without judgment. Just allowance and acceptance. And taking care of your needs. Fifteen seconds left. Come to center and inhale deeply. Suspend your breath and apply your root lock. It's in your practice. Exhale, release the lock. You can hang in that forward fold for a moment if you need to really relax any of that tension from the upper body, releasing the crown of the head towards the earth, fully and completely. Gentle bend in those knees. And then really, really super slow and gentle, rolling up vertebra by vertebra until you draw yourself upright in a standing position. Take any gentle movement that you might need to release any of that tension from the upper body. Whenever you're done, grounding through all four corners of those feet, connecting yourself to this time and space, rooting into the earth. Nice, beautiful, long line of the body. Come back to the self, the awareness of your own being, and just being observant of what's inside. Witnessing, allowing, accepting. No attachment, no judgment. And then open up those eyes super slow and gentle whenever you're ready. We're going to come into our next exercise by inhaling and reaching those arms overhead, reaching those fingertips up like you're reaching towards the sun. Spread those fingertips and really draw those arms as tall into the sky as you can. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. We're going to utilize that mantra Vahe Guru once again. We're going to start by keeping the soles of the feet flat into the earth, Vahe. Come up high on the toes, Guru. Vahe, Guru. Vahe, Guru. Vahe, Guru. Keep those eyes closed, the attention at the third eye. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. Take it as slow as you need to. And if you have to rest, rest the body when you need it. But if you can come back in, give yourself permission to come back into the exercise. Vahe with the flat foot, Guru on the toes. If you have to open your eyes to keep yourself balanced and do what you need to do to take care of yourself. We're vibrating up and down for 3 minutes. Reaching those fingertips upward as if you were trying to touch the sky. You're 2 minutes in, so you only have 1 minute left. So stay strong. Only leaving the exercise when you absolutely know you need to. And fighting the urge to just come out of posture because you're feeling uncomfortable emotions, uncomfortable feelings. Never pressing into that pain or tickling or numbness. Eyes are closed, if you can. Just a few more seconds to go. Releasing those heels down into the earth, continuing to reach those fingertips into the sky. Inhale deeply. Applying that root lock, move on. Just spinning the breath. And exhale when you can no longer hold that breath. Super, super slow and gentle. Releasing those arms down, back towards the side body. Pressing that aura all the way down, grounding your energy all the way down. Take a couple deep breaths. You can pedal out those legs if you need to, releasing any of that tension in the arches of the feet, back of the calves. And breathe into the body for a moment. Those eyes closed. Gently opening up those eyes whenever you're ready. We're going to come down onto our hands and knees. We're going to draw our glutes down so that we're sitting on our heels in rock pose. We're going to put our palms flat on the floor, just in front of our knees. Let me move the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. So we're in that rock pose. Drop those hands down in front of those knees. Spine is super long and straight. It's almost like a sphinx. Take a couple deep breaths here. We're going to say why with the gaze forward towards the front of the room. Guru. We're going to bend those elbows and drop the forehead into the earth. Inhale up, why. Exhale down, Guru. Why, Guru. Why, Guru. Continuing on for 3 minutes. Allowing that mantra to resonate throughout your entire being. Allow this to be a beautiful meditative movement. These beautiful humble postures where we release the forehead towards the earth, bowing towards those higher senses of our own being, that soul space energy, that divine expression of humanity. Honoring the beauty of your own creation and trusting the information that comes from within. Leading with the heart. Already 2 minutes in. You're using your core in this movement, not just the arms. You don't want to put all the pressure on the arms and in the hands. Use your core strength to move through this humble posture. The hands are just there for support. Inhale up, lengthening through those arms, crown of the head shining into the sky, gaze is forward, heart is pressed past those biceps. Spin your breath and apply your root lock at the top. Exhale, release the lock, dropping those glutes back down onto those heels. We're going to drop ourselves down into our easy seated posture. So crossing those legs in front of you. And this is where we're going to utilize that mantra Satanama. And I love Satanama as well. And they've done a lot of neat research on this particular mantra, and it's really cool. So I encourage you to do some of your own research if you have an interest in it, and check out some of the benefits of that particular mantra. Really good for the mind, really good for the neurological aspects of our being, amazing for memory and preventing like Alzheimer's and dementias and things of that nature. So really beautiful, powerful mantra. It says about this particular mantra, the human mind is a marvelous and mysterious thing. Our external experiences inevitably become imprinted into our internal makeup. The triumphs and tragedies of our daily lives pierce deeply into our being. They remain in the subconscious mind. The subconscious can be thought of as the inner all-knowing part of the mind because we are unable to filter what makes its way into our subconscious. Most of us have collected large amounts of subconscious garbage over our lifetimes. Dramatic events that we thought we had dealt with long ago and moved past can remain unresolved and stuck in the subconscious mind. This so-called garbage is preventing us from moving forward in life and rising up to our full potential. Satanama meditation is also known as Kirtan Kriya. It's a classic technique used in Kundalini Yoga. It's intended to bring total mental balance. It clears the subconscious mind of traumas and negative unnecessary emotions. It improves concentration and brain function, increases intuitive abilities, and brings peace, understanding to the practitioner, heals the subconscious, but helps us discover the divine nature of all beings. It is said that if you can only practice one meditation, this is it. The meaning of Satanama is rooted in Sikhism and is commonly translated as truth is our identity. The Bij or seed mantra of Satnam is Satanama, The power of this practice can be compared to the energy of an atom being broken down into its nuclear parts. Sat Nam being the atom, and Satanama being the thread that creates the sum total. So, for this next exercise, we're going to stay in this comfortable, easy seated posture. And for 2 minutes, we're going to whisper that mantra, Sa Ta Na Ma. So you're sitting in that easy seated posture. The shoulders are rotated, dropped back and down. Long line of the spine. Hands are gently resting on the knees. That internal gaze towards the third eye with the eyes closed. Whispering that mantra, Sa Ta Na Ma. Sa Ta Na Ma. Sa Ta Na Ma. Continuing on at your own pace. 2 minutes. One minute in, 1 minute to go. Excuse me. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and apply your root lock. Exhale. Release the lock, keeping the eyes closed. And staying in this comfortable, easy seated posture, we're now going to utilize that mantra Sa Ta Nama, but we're going to speak loudly. Sa Ta Na Ma. Sa Ta Na Ma. Sa Ta Na Ma. Continuing on your own tone, allowing the vibration of that most healing value of your own voice to resonate throughout the entirety of your being. Feel that vibration moving and shifting, allowing for all of the new energetic space that you might need today. Letting go of all of those things that are no longer serving. You're already 30 seconds in. Come back to center. We're immediately going to come up onto those knees, drop the glutes back down onto those heels, palms of the hands gently resting on the thigh. We're going to move that heart space forward past the biceps, sa, rounding through the spine, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. Taking those gentle spinal flexations and matching it with that mantra, sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. Eyes are closed, focused at that third eye point, continuing to move through the spine. You're going to be here for 3 minutes. Working on the thyroid, the pituitary and pineal glands. So we're working on a lot of body systems with this particular kriya. And that meditation after the kriya is going to bring the realization that we are channels for truth, and that to maintain grace in the most ungraceful moments is part of that human work. Two minutes in, you only have 1 minute left. Inhale to center. Suspend the breath and apply your Mula Bandha. Exhale when you can no longer hold that breath and release that block. Dropping yourself down into that easy seated posture one more time so we can take a couple minutes to meditate quietly, drawing our attention back inside of our own being. You can take those hands into Gyan Mudra, pointer finger and thumb touch. The rest of those fingers gently hang towards the earth. You can find any other mudra that may feel comfortable and safe for you to complete this beautiful kriya today. Super slow and gentle whenever you're ready. You can draw yourself down into the earth on your mat for your final Shavasana, corpse pose posture. Lengthening through the legs, releasing that upper body into the earth, vertebra by vertebra, utilizing that core strength to draw yourself down into that safe space on your mat. Arms are at the side body, or you can gently rest those palms on the belly, one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Listen to your body and just finding that most comfortable, soothing, connective, final Shavasana corpse pose posture to complete your practice today. And allow yourself to find your breath, taking that bridge from the physical body back to the spirit. Sinking into your being, sinking into the earth beneath you. Relaxing and breathing. Letting go and receiving. Remembering when we're having these conversations, educating the people around us, it's not about being right. It's about being heard. It's about opening up new perceptions, new ways of thinking of and experiencing this time and space. It's about giving people other options, other ways to perceive and experience. Remembering that sometimes silence is more powerful than having the last word. Remembering that the best teachers, the best people who inspire us and uplift us, do it in a way that uplifts, that elicits hope within our being. It gives us a desire to strive for those things that exist within the heart. Opening up new space. Be intentional. Be kind. Don't devalue or hurt anyone in life. Not intentionally. We're all walking each other home. We're all in this together. No matter our polarized perceptions. We have to remember that we're not better than anybody else. It's better to be kind than to be right. Focusing our attention on the embodiment, the inspiration, and honest conversations rooted in compassion. If somebody's not responding to the conversation in a way that makes you feel good about it, remembering they're just not ready to hear it. And that's okay. And sometimes we're just planting seeds. And that individual is going to allow those seeds to grow when it's time, recognizing that we're all on our own path, exactly where we're meant to be. And each individual has their own life to maintain. What another person does is none of my business. Just always focusing that energy back on myself, back onto my own experience. Very slowly and gently start coming back to the body, drawing the awareness back to the physical being, back to the room that you're in, a safe space on your mat. Deepening the breath, allowing that gentle rise and fall of the body begin to draw you out of that meditative state. Focusing on the sensations of the physical being. Gently wiggling the fingers and toes, wrapping the hands around the wrists, the feet around the ankles if you choose. Taking those gentle stretches to fully wake the body back up. Every inhalation, infusing that being with that prana, that new life energy. On every exhale, letting go of everything that's no longer serving you. Draw the knees into the chest whenever you're ready, rocking side to side for a moment. And then back and forth several times before you draw yourself upright into a comfortable seated posture so we can complete our practice today with 3 long set nams. I am truth. Truth is my name. Truth is my identity. Taking those hands in the prayer pose, tuck the thumbs into the breastbone. Inhale deeply. Exhaling fully and completely. Inhale to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Namaste. Sat Nam, I am truth. Truth is my name. Namaste. I see that truth, that beauty, that divinity that exists within each and every one of you. I honor those aspects of your being, that soul space. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you guys really enjoyed that beautiful practice. I think it's super relaxing, and I love the mantra. I think it's such an important, beautiful tool, the own voice that we have. That's beautiful, perfectly pitched frequency of our own voice that's literally meant to do the most healing and that create that vibratory experience within our being that draws us closest towards that fullest expression of our own being, that most authentic space. So thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll look forward to seeing y'all next time. Bye.